So there is Matt, Susanna, and me, Dan. We run the Armoring Arts training. And a little bit about me. I've been doing the armoring for quite a while. And if anybody wants to know more about me, you're super welcome to ask me, but I'm gonna pass the microphone on. Ta-da!
Micro version, yeah.
Yeah.
Matt?
Go next, Sana.
Me? Okay.
You go next. Yeah.
Susanna, yeah, co-founder to the Armoring Arts with Dean, lifelong seeker. The armoring is a lifestyle, and the armoring for me is a lot and very little of pressing points. Next is Matt.
Hi, everybody. My name is Matt, German born. I'm the one who is not funny when I'm making jokes. I'm a total consent geek. I'm into the nervous system communication, container creation. I'm a de-armoring practitioner, facilitator since 15 years. On the tantric path since 25 years. That's how old I am. And I'm a guest
You're
teacher
25.
in the de-armoring arts.
On the armpit.
Only 5 years. I wish.
So, dear people, we wanted to talk to you about a little bit about the armoring in general, and we wanted to talk about the upcoming training in Sicily and why we feel it's going to be special. It's going to be special mainly, I mean, two reasons. Okay, one is because we're actually sitting on a volcano, active volcano. So we're going to talk about more of that in a minute. That will provide energy that we normally don't have. And then the other one is because this potentially is the last, well, it is definitely a last training of the armoring arts in this constellation because I'm leading the company. And so we'll talk about that as well. And then we're going to open the space for you to ask questions and hopefully we'll be able to answer. So that's what's going to happen today. So how many of you people have never really done any de-armoring or don't have, really people, would be amazing to turn your cameras on. Please turn the camera so we can actually see your responses and answers, and like with no camera it doesn't work. All right, so how many of you have never done any de-armoring or have no idea really when we say de-armoring, what? Is there anybody here like that? One, Lucas, thank you. Yasmin also. Anybody else? Mona maybe? Yeah, cool, okay. And then we can see that there are some of you who did our trainings in the past, so that's good. All right, so for those of you that don't really know what the armoring is, shall three of us give a little definition of how we see the armoring concept?
I have one more question.
Yeah, go for it.
How many in here are also here because you're interested in the training in June? Raise a hand. Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Cool. But I'm sure there's going to be more by the end of this conversation. All right, so who wants to start talking about what the armoring is?
You.
Okay, me. All right, so you will find out that three teachers, well, three facilitators, each one of us has a very different idea about what life is and what the armoring is and how to do it. And the very reason we have three facilitators is to give you as many different perspectives to the armoring as we can, because in our experience, every person, when they start practicing the armoring, develops their own style, and they develop their own definition of what the armoring is, how it works, and what it is. So for me, definition had been changing actually over the years as I grow and develop. So that's the definition of what Arma and the armoring is. So current version is, for me, anything that stands between me and God is Arma. So for me, the armoring is path of mastery. It's a very dedicated, full-on, full-time, for me, life. It's a lifestyle. I take it very seriously, and it works on all the levels of my existence, from physical, emotional, mental, energetic, and spiritual. So there is many things that I can tell you about how I see it, but I would like to pass on the word to two of you and just briefly let's kind of start building the picture.
Want to go next, Sana? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I copy paste what Dean said, and that can also perhaps for some who are new to it, but also those who have come to us a few times, that the armoring for me, like when I first heard about the word the armoring, then it was like sexual healing work, so hands-on work. And so I started to discover that about 15 years ago. But the more I practiced and the more I've grown on my path as a person, as a woman, as a teacher, as a being, as me too are on a path of self-mastery, then I come to realize that the armoring for me is really, like Dean says, a lifestyle, because whatever is in the way of me and living full to my capacity, whatever that is, it's a discovery process, is armor. So I like to combine the words de-armoring and deconditioning. So for me, it's really something I practice on an everyday life. My mindset, my way of speaking with people, my way of processing people is de-armoring. Like it's a wide concept. Sometimes it's hands-on, sometimes it's a word, sometimes it's screaming, sometimes it's wrestling, sometimes it's a little pointing on an arm. It's so broad, big, and it works the best when, like I want to say, when I process people, it works the best when I get out of the way. Just to add.
So my take on that is everything that both said, copy, paste. And so there are many ways of de-armoring. And I have been developing in the last few years from any kind of physical, emotional, spiritual, mental de-armoring as well into a structure that I call digital de-armoring, to getting in front of the camera and learning so much about myself when I'm freezing, just like, oh my God, there's no human being in the place. I'm looking to this black thing and then I'm just shutting down. So this is as well a part of de-armoring, being capable of speaking and expressing my message into the world when I'm just doing live streams or doing courses or whatever. So I started one part where I do podcasts with practitioners who were participants in previous trainings and talk with them about their experience from the training and how they go into different ways of doing the armoring with clients when they start becoming a professional in their way. And sitting me there as the teacher, facilitator, or the host of the interview and listening to different people, hearing that there are so many different ways of de-armoring with every practitioner differently with different people, so that this is in its total an art form and definitely a lifestyle. And I like to see it from that perspective. We can only guide people as far as we gotten ourselves. So that all of this, people said just like, well, I need to see on the journey where I'm still in my own way to help people to get out of their own way. So that this is a lifelong process of de-armoring our conditionings that we have inherited through religion, society, education, you name it. That isn't the way, like Dean said, between me and my authentic expression to the divine, however you define that. That's my
Thank you.
5 cents.
So I also want to add, because what we just told you, if you've never heard of it, this can sound a little bit like confusing, daunting, and like, what the hell is it? Well, it's not really easy to explain I mean, it is, but you need to experience it to actually appreciate what we're saying. But in practical terms, the armoring can be done through physical touch, so through body work, pressing on the body or making contact with the body. It can be done through energy work, so not touching the body, just coming close with my presence to your presence. It can also be done on distance. It can also be done through conversation. Some call it talk therapy. So by asking very direct and precise questions, I can really get very, very deep inside the person and uncover many things that people keep hidden under the carpet, like skeletons under the carpet. So I'm saying this because actually, like, at least in my definition, the promise of the basic training, 11-day basic training, is that at the end of it, you're going to know what the armoring is and what it's not. You're going to experience it in so many different aspects on yourself, you're actually going to have the experience, embodied experience of how it works, what it is, and what it does. That at the end of it, you will know, aha, this is de-armoring and that's not. And then should you wish to become a de-armoring practitioner, then you need to start actual training, because like any other serious profession, to become a professional will take anything between 2 and 4 years of training. You can't possibly think that you come to 11-day training and then you're a professional. That would be ridiculous, you know? So that's anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I would like to add to that. So the training in itself, it's a lot of hands-on practice as well, emotional work and recalibration work through breath work and stuff. But before it comes to touch, and this is my part of the training that I love so much, is how the container is built, how to create communication and alignment before it comes to physical touch. Talking a lot about the nervous system and trauma and how trauma is stored and what we carry as a package in ourselves before it comes actually to physical touch.
And boundaries, a lot about boundaries.
A lot about boundaries and how to bring that together.
Yeah, I'm thinking about like the buzzword of de-armoring that kind of started in Europe, like 2010-ish, that I know of at least. And what is kind of the baseline that in a lot of these practices was the sexual healing part, which is an element of what we teach as well, which for me was groundbreaking, coming from a lot of abuse in my background, sexual abuse, and before exploring sexual de-armoring or sexual healing, I couldn't really find the right method that kind of aligned me fully. So when I came across sexual healing and had my first internal de-armoring, this is when it really changed my life. This is where I decided that this has to be passed on to as many as possible. Because in so many methodologies, there is this lack, the avoidance of sexuality, of our genitals, and there is so much armor and conditioning stored in our sexuality. Would you agree upon that? Yeah. So this is one of the most profound, for me, profound elements that we can work with. And that together with boundaries, consent, which really creates, contributes, for me at least, and I've seen so many other transform to this, contributes to really becoming a whole human being. Like for me, and it doesn't have to be like, I know like Dian, for example, doesn't work hands-on genitals anymore. It doesn't have to be, but for me, it was absolutely life-changing. And for me, this is what I see transforms people's lives so much more, like over and over and over again. I want to add it on because that's really like one of the core elements of this whole training and this whole practice for me. Yeah.
Thank you. And then just to give you a completely opposite, like 180-degree turn, is I'm in a strict celibacy. I've been doing it for now, I'm in a 9th year, with ups and downs and ins and outs. And so I don't work with sexuality at all, not just genitals, no sexuality, no naked bodies. And I found when I first went celibate years ago, I thought, because before then I was also internal de-armoring, that was bread and butter, that was basically the thing, you know, sexual de-armoring. And then when I stopped doing it, I thought, oh my God, you know, nobody's gonna come. What clients like, you know, what will I do? And then I found out in the process of doing it, that actually, in my experience, sexual de-armoring is like 10%, 5 to 10% of what I actually do with people. 90% is got nothing to do with sexuality. So I just wanted to kind of touch that also to broaden the picture. And the other thing I wanted to say is that you can think about basic training as a 50-50 split training. 50% of the training is actual training. It's like you need to learn a lot, like Matt was saying, you need to learn about the nervous system, you need to learn about the do's and don'ts. There's a lot of theory to take in. And then the other 50% is actually your own personal journey. Because in order to become a de-armoring practitioner, it's not an intellectual profession, it's a very experiential thing. And as Matt already mentioned earlier, you can only take people as deep as you are deep. And so you need to deepen your own container, you need to catalyze yourself again and again and again and again, this side, that side, this issue, that issue, in order so you can actually hold space for your clients in the future. So 50-50 is designed for that kind of purpose.
And I want to like just weave into that because I notice in like I noticed this, like it's a red thread over and over in trainings, that and even for repeating students, is the idea that the armoring is hands-on and pressing points, and there is a neglect of the understanding or the willingness of going deeper in the personal process. So for you who are here and are practicing this art form, the armoring arts, remember that, like the more you can deepen yourself, let go, surrender, deepen, daring, the shadow work, that will be the greatest transmission in the end for your clients, at least out of my perspective.
Yeah.
So really, like if there is this fixed idea that, oh, I have to press the point, like forget it.
There's going to be a massage. Effect is going to be a massage.
No, and yeah, and not only that, because yeah, exactly, both that, and it's also, there is so much more. Like if you see how we handle people in a processing circle, for example, that is like a completely different process, but we take people deep because we have learned to sense people. Yeah, and that is an art form of feeling ourselves and opening up, yeah, through like a lot of inner work. So yeah, that's why the personal process is crucial, I think, for working with people in general.
Yeah, I would like to add as well to that what Diane said about the 50-50, who the training is for, who is coming. You know, sometimes people come who are practitioner, who doing hands-on work already, or therapists or any kind of physicians or anything, who just know about de-armoring and sexual de-armoring and want to put that into their toolkit to get, you know, an upgrade of their version of body work, for example. And then there are people who just want to make a shift. They want to become a professional. They're doing a 9-to-5 job. They are just, and they are on the transition. They're out and they just want to learn a skill that they want to make to their profession. And then we have people who have no interest in any kind of professional de-armoring as a practitioner at all. They just come for their own individual personal journey. They just want to dive deeper and find out where in their history, in their path, in their conditioning, there was wanted to take pieces out to become a more authentic, better version of themselves. And that in itself, in the mix of the training, is very transformative, because we have different people from different backgrounds and intentions coming together, and we creating and drafting their journey together, that this is just like a road for everybody at the end to be capable to practice with each other and support each other on their way of life.
So I feel now we would like to get some questions about this part of the conversation. So those of you that are new to this, I mean, all the old ones, but basically ask us some questions if you need any more clarification or understanding what on earth you might be getting yourself into.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, because I thought
Hi.
you wanted to say something.
Yeah, I haven't done the training though. I just wanted to ask a question.
Please.
Okay. Is it how do you think this, I mean, obviously it differentiates to many other types of training, but how do you think, what's the main element of it that differentiates, you know, from Tantra and various yoga forms of training and other forms of trauma therapy? Yeah, because I'm on a really big journey with many things, and I am very interested in this, particularly the healing around, you know, sexual energy and that kind of thing. And I'm on a very challenging journey with freeing myself back into a state of, you know, true self-belief and truly embodying what I'm really here to do in my life again, after many years of being held back by sickness and you know, chronic illness. So I'm kind of refinding that strength. So is that something, so is, yeah, I don't know if that's enough to answer the question. Am I being clear enough?
Who wants to go first? I'm sure we're all aging to jump in.
No, I'm not.
Susanna?
I can start. I think what difference in this particular training is that we are 3 teachers and we have 3 different perspectives, and we agree to disagree. And our space,
No.
why?
What?
And our space is, we really invite authenticity and rawness. So there is no, like, if you seek the priestess, flowery, hippie, flutes, sagey space, forget it.
Okay.
This is raw, real human shadow work with love, care. Like we really want to empower, or at least I mean, I speak for myself, but I know I speak for all of us. Really want to create a space for individuals to show up in their truth. That means that we welcome it all. Like really, like it's really a training of the heart in its full rawness.
Interesting. Okay. Oh, so you kind of cover like anything and everything, basically.
I can't say any. I mean
No,
we're
there's
not
no.
yoga teacher training and raw food training and you know, guitar. It's not everything.
No. I don't mean like that. I mean, yeah, I understand.
No, what I mean is that we really we do a lot of deep, like individual processing, and we really, like, we are not like spiritual. We did not deny the anger. We don't deny shadow work. We don't deny, like, we allow everything to come up and to be exposed, so we can transform whatever hinders us into the light. Yeah, and then we have we have a very specific structure, but in between that, like with the group setting, it always happens certain, like each group have its own unique element, and there's certain processes arising in each group, and we really go deep and raw into that process.
Okay.
I don't know if that gives clarity for you. It might be a bit
Yeah, somewhat.
I can give you another
Thank you.
twist on that one. So basically, there are not really that many spaces that I know of that are as potent, allowing, and set up for absolute fucking everything is allowed. Anything goes. We are totally politically incorrect. We don't give a fuck about anything that anybody says. The only thing we give a fuck is it authentic? Is it real? Is there a heart in it? Or are you just fucking pretending and bullshitting? And if you are, we're gonna tell you in the nicest possible way, but we're not gonna keep it shush. So the difference between this training and many other spaces is that this is, at least, okay, I'm gonna speak in high terms. So my background is I am extremely interested in shadow work, in going into the darkness, like really into the basement of basements, and bringing it into light. So you can count on me. I'm gonna be your ally. However fucked up you think you are, however shadowy you think you are, however murky you feel you are, I'm gonna take you by the hand. We're gonna go together into a basement, and I'm gonna show you the beautiful angel full of love. So this is my job there. So what you can expect there that potentially you might not expect in other spaces is us, because our commitment to this work, our commitment to transmutation of shadow into light is so deep. It's so like, this is, the people will tell you afterwards when we ask them to share about the experience of the training, what they feel about that. Basically, I feel the difference is our commitment to you, which is extremely deep, extremely important, and 100% on your side. So that's one side of it also that you can count on.
Yeah. And my 5 cents to that is, as Susanna said, we are 3 different teachers from a different walk of life, and we keep each other accountable, and we just want to make sure that this is not a me, myself, and I show. So that the 3 of us, we are holding the main structure of the training, while we have a really potent group of assistants who keeping the entire structure running. But all of us, so the 3 of us plus the group of assistants, we will have our eyes on everything that is going to happen within the space or outside of the space. And
24/7.
we put people's shadow or armor that they're not aware of in a crossfire, not to break you, but to give you the chance to recognize yourself. And I think, as far as I've done, you know, every training out there in the last 10, 15 years that were available, I have not seen 3 people training who are holding the space in an equal way of supporting participants. So if this training would be a training where I would go, I definitely would.
Okay, thank you.
And just mean also if you feel like you want to have a private conversation, like I'm happy or one of the other two, like
Yeah.
whoever you want to talk to, we're happy to jump on a call and have a private call with you. If
And
you
this goes for everybody
Thank
here.
you.
Like if you want like more clarification to find out if this is for you or not, please look us up. We're gonna give you a link after the end of this conversation. Any three of us can spend like half an hour, 1 hour with you talking to one-to-one and
yeah.
just
Yes.
really
Okay, great.
explaining what it is, what is not, and how it can benefit you.
Yeah, okay, thank you so much. Yeah, I'll
Thank you
do
for
that.
asking.
Any more questions?
And by
Really
the way, that
shy.
was great, Jasmine, that you made the first step in speaking in front of the cam. Thank you for
you.
that.
Well, I'm a performer, so it's easier for me than some
Great.
people.
Don't say that. We pay you after. No.
If you feel like, please, not me, I don't want to say anything. I have to say something, but I don't want.
I mean, one
then
great thing for anybody who's in the room right now is like if your heart is pounding, then it's something they want to come through. So even if your mind doesn't know what it is yet, and you feel like you can just say, okay, unmute and say, my heart is pounding. There is something I would like to say, but I don't know yet what, and then just talk. It's often a great way of showing up. Is there anybody who feels that heartbeat?
Can I say something?
Absolutely.
Right.
Hi, my name is Eliana. I live in Italy. I was born in Argentina, and I work as a naturopath, but I use different methodologies. Also some kind of body work, like reflexology and other practices. And I am very interested in this. I see that the basics are basics that I share. The being authentic, the being able to see and transmute. But I am not sure what de-armoring is. Even though you have been explaining it, I came in the Zoom meeting 15 minutes late. So maybe like I have seen videos in which the body releases tension in a way that I haven't seen in other practices. So I am asking myself, is this what differentiates de-armoring from other practices? And the other question is, where should I start? Because I saw, I received an email with 2 courses, one in Spain and
Present.
the other one. Yes, exactly. Which of the 2
Let's talk
courses
about
is
that
it?
later. Let's talk about the first question first.
Okay, yes. I just wanted to ask that. Those are my 2 questions for now.
I have a question for you. So when you're talking about that you saw a video of body release intention, was it one of those where person is kind of going, or,
Yeah,
yeah, okay, so this
yes.
is not it. No. So
Be it.
it can be, yeah.
I'm
Basically,
sorry, I came in late, so
no,
I
no, no, no,
probably
no, no,
missed
no, no. We
something.
didn't talk about it. It's a perfect question at a perfect time, and I'm actually talking to everybody. The style of the armoring that we do, it's very much real, and it's human. All we want is we want to help you become as authentic and human as you can. And sometimes it will be enough for one of us just to look at you in a certain way and to say one word or 2 words. And something inside you is just gonna give up. Something inside you is just gonna relax. It's just gonna go, oh. And then maybe some emotion will come. Maybe some energy will move. Maybe you will just have a aha moment of like, oh my God, now I get it. It can happen in so many different ways. So it depends on what area of your life you're working on. And we work on every area of life, literally every aspect of your life, if it's armored, needs to be freed up. So that's my 5 cents on that one. I'm sure Sana and Matt will have. Matt wants to go.
Yeah, I would like to just a tiny little bit, because Sana said that so profoundly before you spoke, and that's a question for everybody here, and then I come to you. When you about to speak something up and your heart beats fast, yeah, when you're about to say something that can be challenging, do you know what I mean? When the heart beats in your throat and all of a sudden you can't say a word. Yeah, I still have that, even though I have done tons of training and everything. And just the explanation of that, there is something in our social engagement that doesn't feel safe to do that, because we have not learned that this is safe. We have been ridiculized, we have been shut down, we have been made small or judged or whatever. And this wrong making is somehow a memory in our system. And when that happens, it's so-called the vagal break from social engagement into sympathetic. So we go in fight, flight, or in a shutdown. And if we don't catch that, and if we are not capable of getting that out of the way as an obstacle, we literally are in an armor and not capable of expressing our authentic truth in the moment. So when you, and this is a great example about us here being in that room, is when you catch yourself, as Sana said, and you just open up your microphone and you just dare to speak with the fear of saying something ridiculous, being stupid, being judged, made wrong, whatever it is, and you face yourself and you start to feel embarrassment, awkwardness, shame, all this flushing comes up. Oh my God, who the fuck am I to speak here? And you dare to do that, and all of a sudden you just take this leap and be in your expression, and then you're just like, oh my God, that was so liberating and freeing. That in itself is a part of the armoring, and you can adapt that to any other life situation where a conditioning is holding you back from being your full potential of yourself. That's my 5 cents.
Brilliant. Thank you, Matt. Yeah, I think, I mean, like social deconditioning is a huge, de-armoring is like one of the major ones, like all the armor, all the programming, all the conditioning we've built around ourselves in order to be loved, appreciated, and approved, you know, like being born like somewhat, okay, of course, genetics and societal, our past and country and all of that is also part of forming us, but like somewhat still born into a world like everything is new and everything is fresh, and then we just learn, okay, if I don't do this I get shut down, if I don't do this I don't get love, if I do this I get love. So we learn all this programming, right? And with life we just get more and more armor, we get just further and further and further away from our essence. Yeah. And of course all the tension through this happening is when we contract, or maybe being exposed for a trauma or hit by a car or yelled at. This stores as tension, as trauma in our bodies. Hence, yes, the mental part, yes, the deconditioning is important, but also hands-on and really embodying and transforming through the body is massive. Hence, I feel that both are super important. And so in our training, to answer your question, like working with the body and the armor in the body is about 35%, I would say. And then the tools around that and how to learn to hold these processes, which is, you know, in certain way technique, but in many ways, like to go in deep into yourself in order to learn to become a clearer vessel. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah.
And as you have raised your hand, Elena, would you like to add something?
Yeah, I was asking myself, because I do part of what you said in my own work, naturally, like nobody taught me. And the way I understand it is to, in a way, open up with trust and faith in life. Which is the antidote to fear. So if we have, kind of programs from the past that make us shut down, which is fear, then you kind of slowly substitute that with acceptance and love in all areas.
And yeah, absolutely.
Is that it? Like, is that the line of work?
It's a part of the line of work. It's not the line of work. It's a part of the line.
Maybe, I don't know if you didn't hear when we were sharing about what we think the armoring is for us. And for me, the armoring is path of mastery. It's a long road to God. So anything that stands between me and God is armor. So what you just mentioned is one little part of it. And there are hundreds and hundreds of other aspects of myself that also want to surrender to God, to Goddess, to life. So all of that is the armoring.
Yeah, and
It's huge.
I'm also thinking, Adriana, if you like, you're really curious, like we invited Jasmine, you can also jump on a call and we can really like dig deeper into like, what have you done? Where do you want to go? Like, where are you in your personal process? It's easier to go like a little deeper, and then you can also get many more questions answered.
Thank you.
Does that resonate?
Thank you.
Yeah.
yeah, and one more piece to add to that, what Diane and Sanna said about, you know, we are all in different path of life. You know, we have different ages and we have different backgrounds, and it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter which country you're from. It doesn't matter what your religious background is. You know, we have from young people in the age of 18, 19 till I don't know what the highest age is, something in their 70s or so. So it's and everybody independent from the age group is carrying something, realizing I would like to dive and dig deeper into that and get a part back of myself that I was not aware of, that I was missing that 10 years ago, for example.
Yeah. And it never ends. I mean, growth never ends, at least not in my experience yet. What would we then do with life? Yeah.
I think this may be a good time to ask a couple of people that did the trainings to succinctly and shortly, don't take too much time because there's few of you here, just how would you answer Eliana's question? Like, what is different between this training and other stuff you've done?
What transformation has it brought you, both personally and working with people?
Don't let us speak on you.
I love to see how mouths are kind of getting torter.
Yeah. Peter? Peter?
Can I?
Who?
Hello?
Okay, Christiana. Okay, Christiana, you can, yeah.
Christina, of course. Christina, your camera is very blurry though.
I know it's broken.
Okay.
So, hello. Very glad to see you. First of all, what really inspired me was you three. That made for me a big difference of everything that I have done before. And I have done before a lot of things, and a lot of trainings of body work. But the spaces that you opened, I have rarely seen before and never after. So, yeah.
Thank you.
And maybe just a short one for my personal experience after, since then. I would describe it as a quest of digging deeper. So it made me. So, for example, what you just said really touched me about the not being able to speak and open my mouth and stand up and speak out what I really think. I have done voice. I have discovered more and more my voice. I went into radical honesty a lot, and I just discovered that this is a big part for my personal journey to learn and become really true to myself.
Thank you, Christian.
So since then, sexuality, yes, but as well the voice has become a very important path. That you was the lounge, I would say, of that. Thank you.
I actually went to the training twice because of a personal, basically, desire for a deep journey. And the first one was actually really overwhelming to me, with having some tantric background and also some family constellation background and stuff. The first one was really intense. The way how this safe space was built, the pressure that kind of cooked up in the group during the days, increasing day by day, and the craziness of the stuff that showed up. And also, when you go there, be prepared, you will be triggered not only once. It's basically, it grabs the whole group. So it is super intense. I haven't had that before, and also not after that. But the space, the quality of the interactions, the safety there, and also the professionalism and the loving care when processing these things was outstanding, and have never experienced that elsewhere. So really, really profound work.
I did the basic training in 2019, and I did 3 other levels of training with Deanne and Susanna. And yeah, I mean, it was the basic training at how many days? 8, 9 days, I don't remember. But it was probably one of the most difficult things I've done in my life. I stood up in front of 30, 40 people and told them that I was molested by a teacher when I was 9 years old. And I mean, I'd never told anyone. And that was, I mean, it was a huge, huge moment. So these guys, I mean, they hold the space for you for these things to come up, and they have so much integrity, because things are going to come up. I mean, you've got nowhere to hide, and you know, it's a profound experience. And the sharing circles, I mean, I never experienced something like that, where you have somebody talking about their experience, and you see it has an effect on other people in the room, and other people go into this processing, because what one person is saying, you know, resonates with so many other people. And yeah, Deanne and Susanna, they hold the space for that so well. So definitely, if you have the opportunity, you know, just go.
For me, it was having done lots of different courses. I've never actually done anything quite like this one. As the other guys have said, these three people here are extremely skilled and experienced, and create a really unique space for people to share. And I would say that the big thing for me, peeling back the layers of authenticity, there's no escape. It's like the big penny drops, and it doesn't just drop in those 10 days, it stays with you afterwards. And I found for a long time, even now, I find things that I learned or that surfaced, and I would never have got there had I not done that course. And as the other guy said, other people sharing and opening up like that made me open up, made me look at things that I thought I had discovered and I didn't. And it is a life-changing course, and I encourage everyone to go on it. And you know, I was talking about it this week to someone. I'm on a retreat at the moment, and I was talking to 2 people and encouraging them to go on it too. So I hope you guys do a lot more courses. That's all I'm saying.
I can't help but to say that if you are thinking of joining, then you cannot miss this opportunity if these guys are splitting up, because again, as people have said, you 3 together are an amazing, I don't know, pattern breaking bulldozer, and also the small intangible little flowers that need to be held and to blossom, and you are so skilled in that. And it's been amazing to be part of your journey, and I'm just yeah, so take the chance of being guided by these 3 before if this moves on. I'm a good also divorce counselor, so maybe I can do something. I don't know.
Nothing is like lost or dead, you know. We're still 3 alive, and we're gonna do other things, you know. So you catch us elsewhere. And if Peter might want to step up, if he wants, you know, then maybe there will be potentially future in the armoring arts. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Said nothing, mentioned not Peter. Said nothing, mentioned Peter.
I'm here.
All right, dear
I'm
people,
here.
come on, big hug. Come on, let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Love you all. You're amazing.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Thank you for your time.
Ciao.
See you
Thanks for
soon.
joining.
Eliana,
Ciao.
no, Eliana, yeah. Eliana, connect with me. Yeah, so I can connect with your sister and with you. Yeah.
All right. Ciao,
All
ciao.
right, ciao.